All right, guys, hello and welcome. Today we're joined here by my good friend and trader, Charlie Burton of charlieburtontrading.com. And in this video, we're going to talk about the market, which I think a lot of people are not talking about, but I think we should, and that is the British pound. So a lot of things happening on these currency markets, which could have significant impact on other key markets as well. So let's talk about it in this video. Join me. All right, guys, welcome back. Now, before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to Alexandra Over God, who does some brilliant and wonderful research on crypto and Bitcoin. So if you haven't already subscribed to her newsletter, I would highly suggest you do so. She does some great research on Bitcoin and crypto from a fundamental perspective. And again, it's a free newsletter. Do check it out. I'll put the link for you guys in the description. If you like it, please subscribe to her newsletter. She publishes every month, and I think it's certainly worth the read. Guys, before we actually dig in to our discussion with Charlie here, let me just mention that Charlie has a fantastic offer which expires at the end of December, and that is for when you go to this link, charlieburtontrading.com/LT Gold, and apply the promo code LT30 days, you get 30 days free trial of Charlie's gold level membership. So it's a fantastic offer, expires at the end of December. Make sure you check it out. More about that at the end of this video. Back in October, I was having a discussion with Giovanni of Cointelegraph, and he was asking me, this was happening when the pound collapsed, just had a major drop, and it's all over the news. Everyone was panicking about the pound. And I said at the time, and I said this, that likely we've seen capitulation. I said, in fact, I'll put a clip for you guys to see it.
Again, I actually think that the pound just recently dropped into a capitulation zone or capitulation region. In other words, an area or region where I think we could see a bottom in the British pound. Also, sentiment. I'll show you the chart of sentiment. Majority of public opinion is very bearish on the pound. So that's another factor which is in the pound's favor, the fact extreme bearishness, pessimism on the pound. Every time this has happened in the past, this has been a turning point, a bullish turning point for the pound.
So I was saying at the time that very likely the pound has seen capitulation, as you saw there, and that we're likely seeing a bottom as long as we stay above that support levels as well. So it seems so far that that prediction I made back in October has been correct, and I think Charlie will agree with me on this. Whenever you see this massive hysteria, mania, and just overhype in the media about a currency or any market, that's a time to be thinking the opposite. Charlie, what do you think about that before we go into the charts?
Yeah, absolutely. It was it was extremely inflamed, and a lot of hedge funds who were making a lot of money on the downside, but there were lots of other people it was affecting. It was affecting businesses, people who are having to import. Their costs went sky high, and over that period, so there was lots of consequences to it. But yeah, when you get these extreme flare-ups, then as painful and as scary as it seems at the time, as Warren Buffett often says, when there's blood in the streets, it's the time to buy. And it still doesn't make it easy, though, at those sorts of times. But you were quite right that, yes, the market was at an extreme of bearish sentiment at that stage. And when we're extremes of bearish sentiment, it's good to look the other way.
Well said. Thanks, Charlie. Let's have a look at the pound now. And I want to see if you still think I'm right about my view of a bottom or capitulation that I mentioned back in October, whether that still holds and whether you have a different perspective.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the pound, we came down to these lows of 1985 back here when we came down. This is a 3-month, this is a quarterly chart that I'm showing here at the moment. And there's two things that I think from a technical perspective are interesting here. One, I've put a trend line from the highs of 07 down, crossing through here, through these highs here. So for me, trend lines I see as a mean reversion tool, and so at times, and so now that the pound has started coming up, I think it's hit a major level, as you quite rightly said there. Plus, we've got some divergences down here on the quarterly chart, down on a standard like MACD down here. So we've got divergences, a key support level, historic level, and we've got a trend line here as well. So at the very least, I would love to see the pound work its way towards this trend line. Now, that could take 9 months, because this is each one of these candles takes 3 months. So this could take, it could take a year to meander its way there. Doesn't mean it's going to go straight up and go straight to 130. It could meander its way there and be 120, mid 120s, further down the line. So because I am expecting some pullbacks along the way as well, but certainly I think that this is a potential for the market, the pound dollar, to test this trend line and potentially break it at some point further down the line. So that's something I'm on the lookout for as far as the pound's concerned. But all of this is driven by the dollar. There's only so much of the equation that is driven by the UK. Lots of the moves, when we're looking at whether it's the pound dollar, euro dollar, New Zealand dollar, Aussie dollar, they're all driven to a large extent by the flows and in and around the dollar itself. So I think that's something we have to bear in mind.
Let's have a quick look at the daily chart as well of the pound. So we can see that major flush down that occurred. I think I said October. It turns out actually it was September. Okay, I got the date wrong. Okay. So do you think, are you of the same view as I am, that is going to be a potential long-term bottom? And if not, if you have a different view, what level has to break on the pound to increase the likelihood of a continuation of a downtrend? But I personally think that the bottom is in, but what do you think?
Well, in the first instance, I could put a trend line below these lows here on the daily charts, and so that would be something to look out for. But that was only be in the first instance, because even if the pound started coming down to that trend line now and broke it, technically, it's still not done any what I call technical damage at that stage. So then we really got to look at where are the swing lows, so to speak. So we're really looking back down at sort of this 112 area, a bit below 112 is that last major swing low that occurred in early November. I think this was non-farm payrolls actually on this day here, which turned the pound back up again. And so that would be for me a key level, the date from the 4th of November lows, or the 3rd and 4th of November there. So that would be what I'd be looking for. That's
a good point. So you're basically I think you're saying is that if it falls below 111, 110, then the odds shift more towards bear market continuation. But as long as we're above that, then you're looking further higher despite any pullbacks. Okay, thanks very much, Charlie. Appreciate that. Before we finish, guys, this is very important. Charlie Burton has a fantastic offer, and for those of you who haven't taken it up, please do so, because this offer expires at the end of this month, at the end of December. So essentially, for a limited time, by the end of this month, you can get 30 days free trial of Charlie's gold level membership. For full details, go on this link. So go on this link you see here. When you go on that page, then apply this promo code. Promo code is LT30 days, and this brings down the price to 0. Again, free trial for 30 days. And the full details are there. Charlie, can you just explain for people what they get in this in this particular, in your gold level membership? What's involved?
Yeah, it's really catered towards people who are traders who are looking to either very short term to up to holding positions for several days to several weeks, which is really what I do most of. So I have an online trading room, and members can access and come in anytime they want. Even if they have full-time jobs, many of our members have full-time jobs, so they can't necessarily be there live all of the time. Every single session that we do through the week is recorded, so people can come in at any time and watch the recordings. What people are getting is a huge amount of education within the online and analysis with every single day within the online trading room, and people can see me and can trade along with me as well when I'm taking my trades.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Charlie. Really appreciate it.